Welcome to this tutorial on some of the very basics Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th edition module for Foundry version 13. The thing that I come across the most that sends people crazy is how do you make a character? How do you make a player character? Let's say you're a player, you want to make your sheet. Let's say you're a GM or something like that. You want to make a player character just for a test. A lot of people go to create an actor. That's wrong. I never use this. I never use create an actor even if I'm making an NPC. I know it's very misleading because you click on it and it gives you play a character, make a player character. You create that. It's just going to give us a blank sheet with no automation at all. And some players, if they're brand new, will even start filling this out. They'll think a class and they'll fill in like priest. They'll try to fill it in, but it won't work. And none of this will be automated. Everything in the Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th edition module is automated, and careers and trappings, skills, talents, they all exist in the game already as items. And how do you get an automated sheet going right off the bat? You click on character creation, not on create an actor. Character creation. That will open up the wizard for creating a character. See? This is going to automate everything for us as we create our character. It will roll everything for us. It will give us the right skills, the right talents, the right trappings, even additional details it will give us access to. Now, there's every module installed in this Warhammer Fantasy game world. This is a game world that I've run maybe about 30 sessions for about 5 players. So when you first get this module, you're probably not going to have even half of these options that I've got here. But the player, you can roll for a species. And surprise, surprise, we got human. You probably won't have all these unless you've got all the modules like I do. But let's say we're making a Reiklander. You can also just pick what character you want. Some GMs may say you have to roll. That's very common. Human, Reiklander, it could be Midlander, it could be Salzamunda, it could be Tilian. We're going to go Reiklander. Submit. Then don't press this button. It actually won't let you. Or will. But it will make an incomplete sheet. See, now we've just got a new character, Reiklander. That's pretty useless because we've cancelled out of all of the automation already. You have to finish it. You have to go species, human, Reiklander. Do not click submit. You go to career next. Now, it will load the careers from the compendium. Give it a moment. And now we can roll. Riverfolk with Seafarers is in relation to the Sea of Claws module. You can click yes or no, it does not matter. Let's just say yes for this. We've got a Road Warden. Now, you can roll again for 2 more choices for less starting experience. So we're going to click roll again. And we'll roll twice. Now, for this random rolled character creation style, we've gotten 3 careers to choose from. You can continue rolling, or you can pick Tollkeeper. I could pick Brigand, or I could pick Broker. But you can create a character that you know for the career that you know what you want. And this is the first introduction into the compendium browser, which is absolutely critical to Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay module. Everything in the game is in here. And I mean everything is in here. Every career, every injury, mutation, skill, spell, talent, trait, trapping, extended tests, cants, everything is in here. It is a database full of everything literally in the game. You can search by module. You can search by, for example, if you can look in the career, you can look for what trappings are in that career. You can look for by what skill. But let's say that we wanted to create a rat catcher character. We've already established with the GM that this is what we want, and the GM's okay with it. So let's find Ratcatcher. This is what we look like when we first open the companion browser. We can type Ratcatcher. It will give us the career Ratcatcher. Now it has these, a lot of them are duplicated, and that's because they've been imported into the world already. So there's 2 Ratcatchers, but they're both the same. So now the next very critical concept to this module is, how do you get this on the sheet, or how do you get things where you want them to be? You drag. So you click on it, hold down and click and drag, and it's now given us the option for Ratcatcher. So we'll choose that. Great. Now we've got Human Reiklander, Rat Hunter, which is the first part of the career. Attributes. Click roll. These are our rolled attributes for Human Reiklander. You can rearrange them by dragging them around after clicking rearrange. Drag. So you can swap them around. You can re-roll. You can allocate them. If the GM is happy with this, you have 100 points. These are different ways that you can create a character in this module. You have to talk to your GM which system you're allowed to use. Are you allowed to allocate? Do you have to roll? Are you allowed to rearrange? Let's say that we're allowed to rearrange Ratcatcher. I'm not going to try and make a min-maxed Ratcatcher in this tutorial, but let's just say we're happy with these attributes. Next, we've got fate points and resilient points and additional advances into the character's career characteristics. We have to use the keyboard. Let's say that we want, out of the 3 available extra points, we want to allocate 1 to fate. That means we click on it so that it opens the number and we type the number 2. So we got 0 points left. If you try and add too many, it gives you -3. You've added too many. So it's 1 and 2. Now we've got 5 advances to our career's characteristics. Again, same concept. You can add 5 onto onto one of them, but you've only got 5. So let's say we want 2, 2, and 1. If you go 2, 2, and 5, it's wrong. You have to have 5. So you could do 0, 0, 5 if you wanted. We've got our attributes. Now star sign is next, but star sign is not in every game. Star sign requires Archives of Empire Volume 2, so I'm not going to go too much into that. You roll for it, you can choose which one you want off the list as well, but we're happy with the drummer, whatever, we rolled it. Next is maybe the most complex part, which is skills and talents. Now, with your career and your, sorry, not with your career, with your race, Human Reiklander, we've got some starting skills and talents from our species. They call it a species in this game. You get 3 of these can have 5 advances and 3 can have 3 advances. So what you do is you drag them to where you want them. And again, let's just say I'm happy with that. Next is, if you're a Human Reiklander, you will get doomed. Doomed is there. You've also now can pick between Savvy and Suave. You can't pick both. These are your choice. Suave adds 5 to Fellowship. Savvy adds 5 to Intelligence. So let's say we're going to go with Savvy. Now you roll for 3 random talents like you would normally with the pen and paper. But here we'll automate it for us. So we're just going to click roll our 3 random talents. And it's given us our 3 random talents for Human Reiklander. Starting. We've got Hardy, Flee, and Sharp. Sometimes you'll get a duplicated starting one from either Savvy and Suave, so you can choose the other one, obviously. Now we've got 40 points to allocate towards our career skills. These are our starting skills. We've got 40, and you can't have more than 10 from the start. But this is just the core rules, as I'm saying. So this is about the module itself. So you just type them in like you typed with the Fate, and we can do 5, 5. 10. It'll tell you when you use them up. You got 0 left. Next is you can choose a career talent to start with. Let's say Resistance Disease. Submit. We've got all our skills and talents now loaded in. Trappings is next. This is very easy. You just click Roll Income, and these are the starting trappings that come with your career. So cloak, all this stuff. You just click submit. You're probably gonna have you're probably gonna get more stuff from the GM anyway, to start the game with. Adding detail. You can roll for a lot of this. Roll for motivation. And you just click on the dice. Some GMs will insist that you roll. They're creating a more randomized game. Otherwise, you just type it in. Click onto the box and type it in. Let's say I'm 21 years old. One of the useful parts of this module is it has a very extensive generation system for lore accurate names, in particular in like Reichland. You can roll names, all sorts of names. Inga Sudana, let's say that is our Ratcatcher's name. She's 6'2", 21 years old. You put whatever gender, FM, whatever other options. Short-term ambitions you can write. Let's say Inga wants to go to Altdorf. Long-term ambition wants to work in a rat-catching business in Altdorf. Okay. We're done. We have completed all of the tabs in this sheet for Inga Sudana now. We can click submit and it will make Inga for us. Okay. We've now got our sheet. It will appear in the bottom of all this, in the actors tab. It will appear down the bottom here. I know maybe you can't see it because I've got the Warhammer Fantasy logo in it there, but you'll find it down here. Inga Sudana. Usually there's a party tab made by the GM. This is a party that I run, but they would probably be dragged in there for these purposes. Let's create another one. Let's just call the party 2. Because this is for a GM. How can you let all the other players see who else is in the party? Let's go and drag Inga Sudana into the party 2. So Inga's in there. Let's say there's other characters in there that belong to some of the other players. We have to make the permissions available for them to be able to see everyone in the folder. Go to right click, configure ownership. Go for all players, observer. Now that all the players will be able to see who's in this folder. They can all see the party. Inga. There's some additional notes we can make as a GM, or the player can write their biography in there. Trappings tab. This is everything the player owns. Their inventory. They can equip things. They have got an encumbrance that is automatically calculated. It is automatically calculated in the actor settings. We can set this on and off. Go to the 3 dots at the top of the sheet. Actor settings. Auto-calculate encumbrance, auto-calculate corruption, auto-calculate wounds, auto-calculate run speed, token size. You probably don't want to touch any of this. This is probably all just leave it. But you can access that. You can manually do it. Effects is, let's say, they're encumbered at the moment. Because their encumbrance threshold is 4. It's because they don't really have everything equipped, really. Yeah, it's gone down now to under the threshold. They're not encumbered. Effects lists everything that is affecting the character. They could have bleeding 1. They could be poisoned. They could have a critical injury or something like that. It's all listed here. It's also listed all passive effects. As a result of talents, usually, in here. If you click on it, it opens up the scripting wizard. You don't want to really go in there. I don't script. I don't go in there. You can click to access the talent by clicking on the little suitcase. It'll tell you all about the talent. Combat tab shows the weapons that you have, but they have to be equipped in the trappings pane. Some people look for their dagger in here and they cannot see it because they didn't have it equipped. Once you have it equipped, you can see it. It's in your combat tab. Talents. This is the list of talents that you have active. But let's go back to the main part of the sheet before going any further with that. You've got everything displayed here. You can see it all. Your fortune points, your wounds, your available experience. Now, let's say we want to add some experience as a GM, just a bit ad hoc, not using any macros or anything. How do we just say, let's say the character is meant to have 100 experience here, but they something went wrong with the character creation and they only had 25. Click on total experience, highlight that, and write in the amount they're meant to have. Reason for experience change, put whatever, you don't have to put anything. Just click space, enter when you're done. They will now have 100 experience they can spend. Now, how do you see depending on what career you are, what you need to spend your career on, what you need to spend your experience on? These things that you need to boost in order to finish your career have little red plus signs on the sheet. And if you hover over them, they tell you how much experience it will cost to boost this thing. 10 experience, and let's say, this is one of the main advantages of running a game from the module for Foundry, is that it makes all of this very painless to figure out. Let's say that Inga is going to spend 50 experience on a weapon skill, and in the skills wants some athletics as well. Boost that 5 times. They now spend all 100 experience, and we'll track this in the experience log down the bottom here. Okay. Once you have boosted these skills enough to complete the career, that will now have the little red tick symbol next to them. Now you can still boost these. This is again going into the rules, but you don't need to do it anymore to finish the career. So it's a really nice way for the player to see what they haven't done yet, what they haven't finished yet. Same with talents. Talents that you have not gotten yet for the career stage that you're in are grayed out. And to click them on, you'll have to spend 100 experience, of course, like normal. Let's say that you do. You can do it for free. As a GM, this is the best way to do. Click it on for somebody who has maybe set up the sheet wrong. But if you spend 100, try and spend 100 experience, it'll say cannot afford it. But that's because Inga doesn't have enough experience. Okay. So that really is the basics of everything that is going on here. You can see move speeds. You can write in additional information about the character. They can spend some time with this. Tokens is a bit of a tokens is the same as anything else in Foundry. The majority of people use a tokenizer mod. I won't go into that. That's not to do with the Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay module. Other thing I will do though. How do we add a talent to a sheet? Ad hoc. How do we add skills? Same thing as with when we went to find the careers. When we went into the compendium browser, we open that up. Let's say we want to give Inga Sudana law rats or some kind of ad hoc law, some custom law thing. Go into the compendium browser, we will look for law. Now there's a bunch of them. But there is one that has got law, bracket, and bracket with nothing in it. This is a custom law skill that we want to add on the sheet. So we will drag it from the compendium browser into the sheet of the player and then drop it there. It will give us some options to, if there's like one law from the rulebooks that we wanted to add, we could pick law magic or something, but we want to keep it with law brackets, because we're going to custom make this skill, and you can custom make any skill in this game. You're going to right click, edit, we'll bring it up, and we can delete and write in law bracket, rats bracket. And that is now on the sheet. One thing that I do with the game is I add the native language of characters onto their sheets, even though you don't have to. Let's say Inga, I want to add a law language Reichspiel, even though it's a native language and they don't do it really. I want to track just how good Inga is at speaking Reichspiel. People who are native speakers of their own language with other native speakers of their own language. Some speak their own native language better than others. I want to put language Reichsspiel on the sheet, but I'm going to give a modifier to reflect that she's a native speaker of this. And you can go into the skill, right click at it, modifiers, let's give them a plus 40. Their language Reichsspiel is now 76. Some people would think do it as advances. You would ask you to spend experience. You could click for free, but it would show 40 advances as a result of the advances, not as a modifier. Yeah, so there's some other skills that are grayed out. These are skills that the character has not advanced yet that are part of their career. You can just add them to the sheet. It's all automated. Everything that is got the career current ticked will automate. Now let's say that, how do you see things from another career? Let's say that they got out of Ratcatcher, out of Rat Hunter. Let's do like Peddler. Add that to the sheet. Dragged from the compendium. It's not a current career. It's not ticked current. We can do it. Untick. Tick current. It will change everything automated in. You can see all this status, all of career, everything. It's dependent upon what is ticked as a current career. It is going to also automate what skills are available. Now that they're Peddler, they have Evaluate. We can add that. It also does that with talents. It will show you. So this is important. And when they complete the career of Rat Hunter, you tick the complete. And they can advance to the next career. And it will keep that complete. This is also how you can roll for income from your career. It's all automated. Plus 3. Earn 43 brass pennies. And you can drag that on the sheet from there. So, I hope that this has given you a bit of a very basic introduction into just getting a player character's sheet ready for play. You can do this for NPCs as well if you're making an NPC, but there is a mod that makes this much faster for NPCs. But at least now you can hopefully get your friends loaded into the game with sheets that work. Perhaps the other thing is to tell you how to assign the character to that player. You'll have a list of your players here. It's just got me because I'm the only one in at the moment. It's got GM next to me, but you'll right click onto user configuration. Let's say that you have your friends in there as a player. Let's say they would be called John Doe or whatever. They would have John Doe here. Right click user configuration. My player character set at the moment is a Salundra. But let's say that I wanted to make it Inga. This is actually quite important because then it will affect what the players can see. This will make them the owner of the character. Even though they can create the character, they've not necessarily been made the owner of the character. Let's find Inga. There's so many NPCs in here because it's got every module in Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay loaded in. But Inga's there, so I'll tick onto that. Inga Sudana. And I would save, but I'm not going to save it because I want to keep Salundra as my character. Only other thing that you might have some weird problems is go in your settings and go into permissions. Make sure players have ability to create actors. I usually tick everything on, except for we don't use video, audio, or anything like that. The only thing I don't do is don't let them delete tokens. Don't let them mess with the settings. Don't let them open doors as well because they can mess up some things. Files, this is more relevant to the Forge and things like that. And file browser, don't let them use that because especially if there's people you don't know well, you don't know what they can upload into your game. Some really weird picture or something. But that's pretty much it for like a really basic overview. The next video I will make will be a bit of advice onto what mods to load into your game, just to give you a little bit of help there. What mods can be interesting. There's a lot of really good mods for this system. And yeah, maybe the other thing is rolling from the sheet. I think it's not too hard to work out. You just click on the skill and roll. But we'll get more into rolling and modifiers, opposed rolls, defending rolls, how to fix broken rolls in the game on some other videos. But this should give you a good start into getting player character sheets running. Very basics of Foundry, very basics of the Warhammer module. But I will be uploading more videos over the next coming weeks and months when I've got time between games, when I feel like it. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope this video has been of some use to you.